Hello viewers and a very good morning. Welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. We continue to speak, we continue to talk about important matters. ZANU-PF has been disappointed by the ANC, and it seems as if ANC is going ahead to form its own government. And this is very interesting. They are forming a government with the DA. This is the announcement which they gave. And it's a disappointment to Mnangagwa and this team, because they wanted to utilize this opportunity to continue controlling the SADC region. But given the circumstances right now at this point in time, it's going to be a very difficult moment for radicals who are against the ZANU-PF to actually work together with the ZANU-PF or allow Ramaphosa to work with ZANU-PF. What is of interest is to know that if the DA manages to get the Speaker of Parliament, then Mnangagwa is in deeper trouble, because, you know, the new Speaker, if he comes from the DA or from the EFF, they will always push Mnangagwa out. And if Ramaphosa tries to go and work with Mnangagwa, then he is out. And ZANU-PF people, they look like they are actually disappointed with this development, and it's sad news for ZANU-PF people, because all their hopes have been eroded so far. So it's interesting to understand what is happening right here. Let me put something on the screen for the sake of your benefit. Let me bring in something on the screens for the sake of your benefit, so that we talk about this matter deeply and understand what is really happening and what is really going on. So we need to discuss and see the coalition happening in South Africa and how it is going to work to the disadvantage of ZANU-PF. So the ANC and the DA have agreed to form a coalition government, and the government will include the IFP and Gateway Makanze's Patriotic Alliance. These are the parties which are going to be part of the coalition, or it's no longer a unit government because other parties withdrew. So it's a coalition of ANC, DA, IFP, and the Patriotic Alliance. And they are calling it a government of national unity, but it's far from it, just massaging semantics. Without other parties, EFF and MK, there is nothing called a national unity there. So you'd see that these parties do have different policies in terms of ideology, what they believe in. They are going in different directions. If you take a look at the position of the Patriotic Alliance, it's saying foreigners must leave South Africa. And if you go to DA is anti-Mnangagwa. They don't want Ramaphosa to continue to have relations with Mnangagwa. And if you take a look on the IFP, they are going in their own direction. Then ANC has been taking a radical stance to support Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF looting. Now that information is spewed into the public domain about corrupt transactions happening in South Africa, spearheaded by Chivayo and his colleagues. I believe that a DA is likely going to push an investigation of those things. They are likely going to push investigation of Wikino Chivayo and ZANU-PF leaders. Once that happens, then you have to know that it will be very difficult for Team Chivayo and their colleagues to continue operating, because mari dzese dzinobva dzasungwa from the South African side, their accounts will be freezed, and they are likely going to lose a lot which is right there in South Africa. And if that happens, then what it means is their trading ground, their looting ground will be closed, will be shut down, and it will be very difficult for them to continue looting from Zimbabwe, because remember, they are avoiding using Zimbabwean companies because they didn't want to be traced easily, which means this is a disappointment to Mnangagwa and his ZANU-PF people. That is the reason why they were trying by all means possible to force for the DA not to be involved in this coalition. That is the reason why ZANU-PF had to pay $3 million to ANC to enable them to rig elections, to enable them to steal these elections, but it failed to work. So this is a very interesting development happening. So what another issue right here, voters will be in an interesting time to watch their favorite politicians throwing away whatever they were chanting during the elections. Yes, the ANC is throwing away everything they were talking about during the elections. The DA and other political parties were saying we are not going to unite with the ANC, it's corrupt, but they are now being tested right there. We are going to see what is going to happen, how they are going to be working together with the corrupt cabal of the ANC. But what is of importance to note is that there is no ANC to talk about, because ANC has been absorbed by DA, and they're not going to be given any chance. And by this, what you have to know is ANC is now divided, and which means DA is going to be dominating. DA, IFP, Patriotic Alliance, they are going to be very powerful, and they are going to be dominating. And it's going to be something very, very important to note. So if you take a look on the policy of the DA, then it becomes something very difficult for Cyril Ramaphosa if they manage to have powers to implement whatever they are talking. It's difficult for Ramaphosa to survive this political arena. This is a deadly political arena which Ramaphosa is getting into. And, as usual, ZANU-PF is going to suffer because their own person has let them down and has agreed to get into a coalition with the DA, despite some calls from ZANU-PF, some meetings from ZANU-PF. And remember, ZANU-PF sent some people to go and meet with Jacob Zuma. They failed to meet with Jacob Zuma. He refused. He sent back those people who were sent by Mnangagwa to go and negotiate with Jacob Zuma. They were sent away. They were humiliated. And the efforts of ZANU-PF to try and convince ANC to form a minority government also failed. So they had tried to say, okay, you can unite with EFF and another political party, then you build up a government, but all failed. And what is at stake right now is to note that this is the setup which is going to happen. So, Katie, thank you very much for coming. I believe that God is going to continue watch over us. Thank you very much for the prayers. So it's interesting, Team Zimbabwe, what is happening in the nation South Africa, and it's a moment of time. It's a moment of time because ZANU-PF is going to face difficulties. However, there is an issue where the DA is more concerned about the people of Zimbabwe who are living in South Africa. The DA want these people to be regularized, and those who have failed to be regularized, they will have to go back. That is the position. So it will depend on the issue of skilled visa program. It means if you want to continue to stay in South Africa, you are supposed to be on the skilled visa program, and failure to be within that visa program, then you will need to leave South Africa. These are the rumors which are running around at this point in time. This is something which DA is contemplating to actually invoke. And given that a lot of our people in South Africa, they are skilled, yes, but they do not have papers to authenticate their skills, which means it's going to be a problem to our brothers in South Africa. If you're in South Africa, make sure that you regularize your skill, make sure that you get a certificate. It's good to go into vocational training centers and or to go to, if you go to Zimbabwe, kune vanoti manpower development, yekuti unonoita trade test. You can go and apply for a trade test where they are going to test you. They'll give you theory and they'll also give you practical, which means even if usina kuenda college or vocational training center, they can test you, your skills. Dzekuti kana uchiti unovaka, they will test you kuti unovaka kusvika papi. If you are a plumber, they can test you both theory and practical. If you are an electrician, if you are a tiler, so you can also go and get trade tested. This is an advice to our people who are living in South Africa, so that you'll be able to get a skilled visa program opportunities. So this is happening with the ANC and the DA having been approved to work together. What it means is this is the end of Emmerson Mnangagwa, because they were bashing DA left, right, and center a few days ago, and they've been calling DA all sorts of names. So imagine if Ramaphosa gives that DA guy the vice presidency, or if they manage to get the foreign affairs ministry. Just take a look on those positions and see. If they manage to get also the Speaker of Parliament position, just imagine the impact it is going to have on the people of ZANU-PF. Just imagine if DA or Patriotic Alliance gets the Home Affairs ministries and it goes away from the ANC, or they get what is Home Affairs, or they get the other department which deals with immigration. You see that it is going to be madness all over, and this is the end of ZANU-PF people. So Team Zimbabwe, expect fireworks. SADC summit is going to be a different one, and for those who are preparing protests, let us prepare for protests, but not those protests of Gambakwe. I'm not going to mince my words. Those protests of Gambakwe are bogus, are fake. Gambakwe is there to mislead the people of Zimbabwe. Yes, there are protests which are being planned for the August summit. There is a need to have a complete shutdown. But whoever is planning those protests is not Gambakwe. And citizens are organizing themselves. They are going to shut down Zimbabwe completely, which means every town is going to be shut down. Every town will not be operational. So this is what is going to happen, and this is going to send a clear message to the SADC leaders that enough is enough. People do not want Mnangagwa, and there is nothing he is going to do, given the current reports which are there, the fallout within ZANU-PF, and given the power of the people. If they get into the streets this time around, the military and the police are going to approve these rallies, or they are not going to shoot people. They are going to stand with the people. I can tell you there is enough intelligence to tell you, the people of Zimbabwe, that this protest is going to get more traction and is not going to be blocked. So this is what is happening. Emmerson Mnangagwa is going out. Emmerson Mnangagwa is a crook. He has failed to arrest Chivayo. He is afraid to arrest Chivayo because he knows that his deals will be spewed, and everybody will know what has been happening behind the closed doors. So this is it. South Africa is ready to have the ANC, the DA, the IFP, and the Patriotic Alliance in their new government. And this is a disadvantage and a negative development for Emmerson Mnangagwa, because this is going to put him on the spotlight. And remember, SADC is already divided. There are countries, Namibia, Zambia, Malawi, Botswana is on Mnangagwa's side, but not 100%. Botswana can be swayed easily. Mozambique is neutral on this, and Angola is also not on the side of Emmerson Mnangagwa. So if South Africa gives strength to the side of Zambia and other countries, then you see that it will be a plus. So this is it. Ramaphosa will be fighting for his own survival, which means he won't fight to save Emmerson Mnangagwa this time around. And it's an achievement. Either way, we are going to make sure that Mnangagwa gets hard times. And given that ZANU-PF Zvatanga, this is the beginning, Team Zimbabwe. I have been saying this, kuti tavamu period yeshanduko, nguva yechange yava kusvika. The time for the truth to be told is getting nearer. And remember, the original results are known. The original results of the 2023 elections are known, and there is evidence which is there, which Emmerson Mnangagwa is going to regret one day. He's going to regret one day because they are going to take him out. So there is a team, Irikuti, it's better to sell out Emmerson Mnangagwa for the sake of the nation, and it depends. Nekuti Mnangagwa anenge atamba tsoro dzake sei, but from the look of things, I am seeing Emmerson Mnangagwa going down. As I always said, Ramaphosa is going down, Mnangagwa is going down. Remember, this coalition government, it will not last. It will definitely collapse, but it will save us or save our purpose for the few weeks or months it is going to survive. It will save a purpose, especially for Zimbabwe. So this is what is happening. Mnangagwa is quaking, Mnangagwa is panicking. Keti, thank you very much. Abel, hanzi siyana na Gambakwe taura zvako. Gambakwe handisi kuzosiyana naye because ane zvaakataura. Saka tiri kuresponda kuna Gambakwe. Abel, iwewe don't worry. I haven't been talking about Gambakwe, but he started to touch our platforms anodhila neshanduko, so we are mandated to respond. That is the reason why tiri kubata Gambakwe. Iwo kana warwadzwa notabata Gambakwe rova pasi. We are not here to kunyengerera munhu because hatisi kutsvaga mari. We are here for change. We need genuine people on these platforms, and if you don't like what we are saying right here, chingorova pasi wakanyarara, because we don't care and hatisi kutsvaga mari dzenyu. So this is what is happening. Hapana musi wamuchambozoona tichikumbira mari kuti tipewo mari tidai no. Avo vanokwanisa kuti supporta vari kuti supporta in their own way, and we are moving, we are transforming, and we are doing what we are supposed to do to make sure that we bring change to the nation of Zimbabwe. We have been fighting for change for years now, and hatina kumbodeviate, hatina kumbochinja, hatina kumbobva patatakamira. Patiri papo pana chamisa ndipo patichiri kusvika nhasi, kusvika shanduko ichiuya muZimbabwe. So for those who believe in Gambakwe, you are free to go and watch Gambakwe and leave Africa and Beyond television network. You are free to leave. And panapa tichataura about Gambakwe because he started to touch our platforms. Taakubata ake. So this is what happens when you try to be clever. We come after you. That is a point, and I'm not going to backtrack on it because I fear nothing. So another issue for those who are trying to locate me, for those who are trying to find my location, you are wasting your time. There is no need for you to try and find my location. I get all notifications of those who will be trying to get my location, and that does not save anything because I operate from Zimbabwe, and all those people know where I am, and I fear nothing. So this is what is happening. Okay, Hanzi, you are always busy saying President Ramaphosa is fighting for his survival. What if he doesn't collapse? He's going to survive. He's going to survive for a few weeks or months, but he's not going to finish his term. We know what we are talking about right here. Mnangagwa and Cyril Ramaphosa, they are both going, and we are in this campaign, and you make sure that that is going to happen because corrupt people must fall, and these SADC leaders who have been aiding ZANU-PF, they must fall together. So it is what it is. I will continue to speak and say whatever I feel because we are in a struggle, and we decide to shape our narrative the way we want it to be. So for those who feel you are not welcome here, just go. Okay, and the series is not going anywhere. Time will tell, Mr. LL. There are certain people who said we are Mugabe chaya akambonza achatonga ku National Heroes Acre. They said Mnangagwa will rule from the National Heroes Acre. If you want to see that Ramaphosa is going, remember ZANU-PF convinced the ANC to not to enter into a coalition with the DA. But what is happening? ANC is compelled to enter into that coalition because we said it in the past. It was said to say ANC will get into a coalition with the DA, and that will be the end of the ANC. So don't think that the strategists are foolish. Strategists are working, and those strategists are part of the advisors of Cyril Ramaphosa. So you have to know that where we are going, the narrative of the SADC region is taking the direction we need. Cyril Ramaphosa has been misled, is going into a coalition with the DA, leaving MK and EFF. Then, boom, what is going to come is a bomb, which means ANC is going to divide. He is never going to survive this, and he will go definitely. So it will be just a matter of weeks or months. Ramaphosa will be gone. And on the other side, Emmerson Mnangagwa also will be gone. When we said Emmerson Mnangagwa will be exposed, people were saying, you are lying. People criticized us right here. When we said the time is getting closer, people criticized us. Now that information is getting into the public domain, people are starting to say, Makambo Shtaura, and they are starting to understand these things. It's a matter of time. The reason why we speak ahead some things is because when things start to happen, you actually know that this is the direction being taken, and these people are going to fall. So it is what it is. No one votes ANC, likes EFF and MK. what is going to happen is decisions are not made by voters, my brother LL. Decisions are not made by voters. Decisions are made by powerful people. Very few people make the decisions. I can tell you, the decision of the ANC, the DA, the Patriotic Alliance and the IFP to get into this coalition, it was made by the Oppenheimers. They were planning for months for that to happen, and it has happened. And the other people on the other side, when they knew that this is the plan of the Oppenheimers, they left Ramaphosa to make serious mistakes, and they advised Ramaphosa wrongly so that he gets into the coalition and he's booted out. So there are two groups in South Africa who are power makers within South Africa. Two groups. The other group misled Cyril Ramaphosa, and the other group trapped Cyril Ramaphosa, and is going to fall out one way or the other, because ANC is not going to continue working with this coalition. I'm telling you this. Mark these words and you'll see that happening. 2029 is too far for Cyril Ramaphosa, and 2030 is too far, too far for Emmerson Mnangagwa. We are getting into very interesting moments, and change is coming. No matter the circumstances, change will come. Eva says, I like that coalition, DA and ANC. Yes, I know that a lot of people like it, but it is not going to survive. Personally, I will not lie. I always tell the people the truth. When we talked about the issues of elections in June, I said we love elections to happen, but there are no elections. A lot of people were angry. A lot of people came after me and even inboxed me saying, but at the end of the day, no elections are coming on 30 June, as people were saying. So you can actually see that when we say these things, at a certain point in time, emotions do not help us at all. Sometimes we need to tell each other the truth. So, Anzi, when you think you know everything, I don't know everything. I know what I'm saying. Iwewe, maybe if you know everything, you can tell us everything. I know what I am saying, not everything, and I have not said everything. So everything is not what I've said. I know what I am saying, not everything. I know what I am saying, not everything. So be guided correctly, be guided accordingly there. This is the reason why you have never heard me claiming to be a doctor, claiming to be an engineer, claiming to be a pilot or whatever. I stick to politics because this is my area of expertise, politics and strategy. So here are my areas of strength: law, politics, strategy, security. These are four things which I know that I am competent enough to comment on those angles. Then economics, yes, I'm nearly qualified to also comment about economic issues because I have a strong background of finance and also economics, which means I can also comment partially on the issues of economics. So you never see me on social issues because that is not my trade. You never see me on other issues because that is my trade. Keep talking behind the screen, talk Zim politics and eat pie. I don't talk to behind my screen. I am talking because I have placed something on my screen. I always, my face is not hidden. This is my face, Mr. Men. I'm not hiding. I'm a real person who survived, who is actually walking and alive. This is me, Mr. Men. This is me. Check my platform. I always make myself known, and I will never hide anything. I speak this with authority and from an authoritative point. So once they are back in parliament, yes, they are back in parliament short of more than 70 MPs. They lost more than 70 MPs, which means they have been neutralized. So Anzi, 2029 is too far from, too fat from Coalition for South Africa. Yes, there is nothing which they are going to do. 2029 is very, very far. Remember, DA is going to the west, ANC is going to the east, and IFP is going to the northwest, and the other party, Patriotic Alliance, is going to the south, which means this is going to break apart. This is not going to survive any test of time. You will see it happening. This is just a temporary measure, not a sustainable measure. And you have to know that they will collapse. if they had collaborated with other parties like the MK and the EFF, they have a lot in common and they were going to survive. Anze warasika shasha. I do not know pandarasika Mr. Vicky. I do not know pandarasika. I always tell the truth. You can write in detail. You can go to warasika. I do not know because I have covered a lot of issues right there. So it is what it is. Team Zimbabwe, thank you very much everybody for coming. Anzi vamwe ndivana Thomas vanda kuona zvaitika regai vakadaro. Yes, I know that for those who follow us genuinely, they know kuti isisu zvatataura, everything happens, and we are not here to lie or to tell other people lies. We are here because we are here for a cause. We are here for a change in Southern Africa. We are here for a change in Zimbabwe, and we are here for our generation to take over leadership. So we will see what is going to happen. Let us watch and see.